Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Jonathan back again with the weekly scuffle, and I'm here to talk about the Miami Dolphins selecting Kenneth Grant and what I think of this pick. And quite honestly, I am a fan. With Calais Campbell leaving back to the Cardinals, the Dolphins had needs at multiple positions. Of course, Jalen Ramsey's been asking out, so cornerback was definitely up there. Oline has always been a problem with the Dolphins, but defensive tackle is just one of those positions, along with guard on the offensive side, that you need to address in order to win games later on into the season when it gets to that playoff time, when it gets into those harsh environments. And Kenneth Grant is a huge man. He's a great run stuffer, could potentially be one of the best nose tackles in the NFL. And I think with Weaver developing him, I think it's going to be great to see his ascension. I definitely thought last year Chop was more of a project, and the more he played in Weaver's system with Weaver's coaching, he was able to progress at a high rate. And I could see the same thing happening for Kenneth Grant, especially with getting to play with the D line that consists of Zach Zeeler, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and of course Chop Robinson. All these pickups, I think, all in all, have been solid for the Dolphins. These young guys they've added throughout the years on the D line, and I think this will be no different. A Michigan guy, so Stephen Ross has his ties there, and I think it's going to be a great pick, regardless of the other needs this team may have. With that being said, though, Nick Emawari is still there. You got Shedur Sanders for the anti-Tua Dolphins fans, which I personally wouldn't mind that actually in the second round if he falls to the Dolphins. Just to have a high tier backup, and just in case Tua gets injured, you could push the door, and I think he would work well in Mike McDaniel's system. But regardless, there's also Will Johnson, who at this rate, who knows how far he will fall, but Greer has never been shy about taking guys with injury history, and Will Johnson is super high caliber as a prospect, regardless of injury. So, with that being said, we'll see how day two goes. But as far as Kenneth Grant, I think it's an amazing pick. I think with Weaver developing him, it could be a great pickup for the Dolphins in the future and this season. But with that being said, we'll see how all this plays out and see you next time. Peace.